Okay, good morning, guys. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Yesterday, I was supposed to put task, right? I just realized now. I forgot. So remind me at the end of the class. By the way, did you complete it? Huh? Practicals? Oh, you're by your own. Huh? But that's good that you have completed the practicals, but I'll put the task. There might be few things that you might have not done. Maybe just go through it, and whichever you have missed, you just complete it off. Okay. So yesterday was like a full-fledged hands-on that we did, right? I have been doing since so many services. Today, let's take another service which is related to RDS itself. Remember yesterday we had a top-ins, no? Add-ons. What were those? What were those add-ons? RDS proxy, another one? Add-ons. After creating RDS, Elastic Cache. No, why are you thinking too much? Which one? Elastic Cache. So, do you remember in our starting days of overview, we discussed about Elastic Cache a little bit? Can you go through that page once? In overview section, we discuss about Elastic Cache. Did you got that? After RDS, we discussed. Okay. So, so what is Elastic Cache? What is Elastic Cache? In-memory database caching service, correct? It's a in-memory database caching service. So let's say you have application and you have RDS in the backend database. For if application is trying to access the database for the same data again and again, that is called frequently accessed data. So if one customer is trying to access the same data again and again, the request will go to the application server will send to the RDS will go to the database, fetch it and retrieve it back to the customer, correct? This will be happening every time for the same data. This is happening for every time for the same data. Instead of that, going to RDS and getting all the details from database, in between, can we set up Elastic Cache? So that whatever the frequently accessed data that is from RDS, instead of going to RDS, we will save that data into the Elastic Cache. Elastic Cache is also a database. Remember, Elastic Cache is also a database. It also stores the data. But what type of data? Frequently accessed data. So next time application is trying to access the same data, will it go to RDS? Who will reply? Elastic Cache will reply. If there is no data in Elastic Cache, then the request will go to RDS, get the data back, and then whatever the data is missed, again it will write it to the Elastic Cache. So that next time it no need to go to RDS. And how many engines that it supports? 2 engines. What are those? Redis and memcached. Say that. Redis and memcached. Again, Redis and memcached. So today, let's talk about that Elastic Cache. Elastic Cache. And this Elastic Cache is also a purely a developer service, Anna. Which service? So in RDS, what we did from the console, we did everything. But did we create tables? Did we create that structure and all? No, it is not our thing because that is developers related thing. Because how do we know what kind of columns that we need to create? Yes or no? Let's say I gave an Excel sheet and I told you to prepare Excel sheet. Without telling requirement, what kind of columns that you put, headings, you don't know. What is your job is to make Office install and then keep the Excel sheet ready so that people will come and work it. Here also in AWS, in RDS also set up this RDS and keep it ready and give it to the developers and they will be doing it. Um, okay, understood? So this Elastic Cache is also a purely developer service. But what we do from the console point of view, right? From console point of view, we will be doing everything from the console, right? Okay, let's talk more about Elastic Cache. What is Elastic Cache, Nana? Louder. In memory. In-memory database caching service. If someone asks you, what is Elastic Cache, then you can say it is an in-memory database caching service. What is a cache? Huh? If all the frequently accessed data is stored at that place, what is that place called? Cache only. So cache meaning all frequently accessed data is stored at this place. That is called cache. So let us see the architecture of Elastic Cache. Okay. So this is application. Okay. Okay. And this is application. And this one is RDS. So RDS. This is application and this is RDS. Generally, all the data, the application will be connecting to the RDS. RDS will be responding. For each and every data, it is going like this. Everything, it is going like this. But what we can do is, in order to improve the performance of the application or on the backend database, can you tell me from RDS point of view, how do you increase the performance? How do you increase the performance in RDS? Louder. Replicas. So what you need to do? You need to create a read replicas or you need to do scale up. Remember? So if you want to increase the performance of RDS, you need to scale up or you need to create a read replicas. How many read replicas you can create? 15. So before it was only 5. Right? How long will you keep on increasing the number of servers in order to increase the performance, right? Instead of that, what you can increase it, you can scale up also, you can increase the read replicas also, no problem. But still, what you can do is you can set up Elastic Cache in between here. What is this? Elastic Cache. So Elastic Cache. Okay, Nana. I'll say see, this one is Elastic Cache. Elastic Cache. This is also a database or not? This is also a database. And what are the 2 engines that it supports? Redis, memcached. Redis and memcached. Now you tell me, if you have Elastic Cache, now tell me guys here. Now application wants to get the data from the database. First it will check with Elastic Cache or first it will check with RDS? First it will check with whom? First it will check with Elastic Cache. Because assume that Elastic Cache is already there. If it is not there, then you'll go to RDS. Assume that you have Elastic Cache already configured. So your application meaning, does the application knows directly to connect to the Elastic Cache? No. Developers need to write a code inside it. Developer needs to write a code saying that, hey, application, first talk to the Elastic Cache. They need to write a code. So first they'll talk to Elastic Cache. If cache is there, then it will reply back to the application. Yes or no? So if cache hit, if there is a cache, if cache hit, it will reply back. Next time, now, application is asking something and it'll check with the elastic cache. But now assume there is no cache. Cache missed. From where it will get? Simple as that. So now it will go all the way to RDS and get the data. No. So developers need to write the code, no, to talk to RDS? Yes. So, and from RDS will send back data to the application. So here I write it as read from RDS. So once you get the data back from RDS to application, that data is there in Elasticache now? No. What the application need to do again? Application need to write that missed data to the Elasticache. So that next time, does it need to go to RDS? No need. So here, write to the cache. So this is the strategy. This is the one of the strategy that developers will follow. What is our role here? To set up Elasticache. And when to talk to Elasticache, how to get the data, how to retrieve the data, that is all done by the developers. As we should not miss any of the service, for that reason, I'm taking this service. Okay. Is it clear, Nana, till here, everyone? Okay. Online, is it clear? So majorly, we have two types of engines here. Number one, which one is that? Redis, and number two is, which one is? Memcached. Can you tell me which one is the most commonly used, Redis or Memcached? How do you know? Fluke, huh? Rayesera. Okay. So the most commonly used database is Redis. Java developers knows a lot because these Java developers mostly use Redis in the backend for caching. Okay, of course, Redis is most commonly used, of course, and also Memcached also. But I'll tell you the big difference between both of them. No, Redis supports high availability and failover. Do you know what is high availability and failover? Right? So Redis support high availability and then failover. And also Redis can support backups. That means you can take the backup of the database. Do you know the backups? In RDS, we took the backups, no? Here also, Redis is a cache, right? Generally, cache meaning what? It's temporary. But here it is permanent until you go in. So what I will say here is data is persistent. What is that? Persistent. What is meaning of persistent? Constant. So until you go and delete, it will not work, right? So data is persistent. What is the meaning of persistent is if you stop and start the engine also, data is lost, huh? Not lost. That is called data is persistent. So whereas Memcached, it doesn't support HA, no failover, no backups. Data is not persistent. Data is not persistent. So if you have data, if you are using Memcached and if you put any data in Memcached, if you just stop and start that server or instance, data is lost. So that is a big difference between these two things based on the requirement, whether you can go to either Redis or you can go to the Memcached. And if you feel data is very important, then you go for the Redis. If you feel data is not that important, and then if we lost also no problem, we are just using for caching purpose, then go for Memcached. Is it clear? And then basically here, from developers point of view, they have basically two types of strategies, Nana. What is that? Developer strategies. strategies. Okay. Number one, we call it as lazy loading. What is that? Lazy loading. Lazy loading meaning the one which I have put the diagram, no? This is called lazy loading mechanism. Lazy loading meaning load whenever necessary. We are loading whenever necessary or not? Because first it will check, the application will check with elastic cache. If it is there, it will reply. If it is not there, it will go to the RDS, then it will reply. Then we are writing the missed data to the elastic cache. That meaning we are loading when necessary from RDS. So that is called lazy loading. That is called lazy loading. So I'll write here load whenever, load the data whenever it is necessary. And we have another strategy which is called write through. What is that? Write through meaning application is writing both on RDS and Elasticsearch at the same time. So that meaning, do you have any difference data? Do you have the same data between Elasticsearch and RDS? Same data. If it is same data, do you need to go back and forth? No need. Directly you go and check with the Elasticsearch. So who will decide all these things, how to put the data? Developers, not us. So from the developer point of view, we will be deciding whether they want to write the data directly to RDS only and then load to the Elasticsearch whenever it is necessary, or applications developers will directly write on both at the same time. So the first one we call it as lazy loading, and second one we call it as write through. So write through meaning here parallelly writing on DB and Elastic cache, DB and cache. So both has similar data or not? Both has a similar data. And is this clear till here, everyone? Online? Online chitties. You're there? Or due to cold, you got freezed out? A lot of cold, no? Next 5 days also, till end of the year also, Hyderabad, it's too much of cold. If you wake up early morning, 5 o'clock, I feel that I was in Aruku. Aruku also this time is too good, too good. Last year I was in Aruku at this time. When I was in Aruku, the Aruku's early morning, I felt that I was in Europe. In Europe, I was in Finland, right? I experienced minus 30 degrees. How much? Minus 30 degrees. But Aruku was maybe 5 degrees, 10 degrees maybe. It's cold. It's okay. But with jerkin, you cannot stand outside. You need to have a jerkin at least. And I had an opportunity in Europe to travel on ship from one country to another country. That too in December. Uh, yeah. Oh, really? Venkat? Yeah. So from Finland, there is another place called Tallinn, or right, Sweden, Stockholm. So we used to travel there by ship, and in the month of December and January, in December we have Christmas, right? But so people they call it as White Christmas. What is that? Why? Because there's a lot of snow. For that reason, they call it as White Christmas in Europe. So I had an opportunity to travel by ship, and the entire sea was frozen. Entire sea is frozen. So you don't have any water inside the sea. It's completely frozen. So I was in icebreaker ship, where the passenger ship is breaking the ice, and then it's traveling. And me and my friends, we went to the deck. Deck meaning what? The top of the ship. It was too cold. Even you cannot open your gloves and take a photo, selfies or take a photos. right? It was too dangerous. And that too, it's a lot of wind is coming, no? You have your cold, minus 30 plus wind. That too snow. Just imagine, right? Oh my God. For us, it will be really good. For them, it is really bad because they are always in the snow all the time. Whenever they see the sun, they celebrate. Whenever they see the sun, they celebrate. They are very happy. For us, ulta. Array, we don't want sun at all because we are so it's too fun. It's really fun. Okay, so that was out of topic. Sorry for that. Okay, sir, cold outside. Also suffering from cold. Nice. Take what is that? Pills. Okay, so mm, train your brain to normal mode. So we are talking about what? Redis memcached. Okay, one question here. This elastic cache is mostly used for write purpose or read purpose. Read purpose. Because elastic cache is mainly used for reading purpose. No, we write also, but morely we go and read because we are retrieving the frequently accessed data. So this is also a certification question. Very rare that you will get a certification question in elastic cache. Maybe one or two. That question also I'm telling it here. Right. So elastic cache is mostly used for what purpose? Read purpose. So if you have a question like, if you want to increase the performance, then can we choose elastic cache? If you want to increase the performance, choose elastic cache. Another one I love to say, which is also a continuation of that topic. It was not snow, but in the month of maybe April, June, uh, we went to the farmhouse. Our friend, I have my friend called Dragos. Have we seen South Indian people at least? Have we generally see apple trees? Apple trees. Have you seen apple trees? Generally, we haven't, right? So for them, it is very common. When I was walking on the roads, you know cherries, right? Cherries, apple trees are just like next to the road. Like how we have our normal trees. Like there also we have cherries, pears, apricots. All the things will be a normal trees. Grapes, you don't tell me. Everywhere, how we have aloe vera trees, aloe vera plants in our every home. Like this, every home has a grape tree, grape that creeper. So it was really fun, and I went to that garden, his garden, and the apple tree is very short. How much? Not even 5 feet, maybe maximum 5 feet. It is less or 6 feet. And for that 6 feet, only one stem is there, just only few branches. And the entire stem is filled with apples. Entire stem is filled with apples. I was very curious and happy. I said, wow, what is this, man? Small tree, these many apples. I went and touched Nana. I went and touched one apple. All fell down. And my friend Dragos, he saw like this. I since so many months I was, there are so many trees like this, but we were very eager. It's too good, too good. Whenever you get a chance, you try to travel to Europe, right? It's really fun, really fun. Okay, because for us, each and every moment, our Indian peoples will enjoy. For them, it is very common, right? Yeah. Okay, so enough. So now come back to elastic cache. So elastic cache is mostly used for what purpose, Nana? Read purpose. And if you want to increase the performance, apart from the RDS, which service do you select? Elastic cache you select. And also, as we are talking about the cache, and also this is mostly for the developer point of view. Developers, everyone knows this. You know sessions, right? Sessions. You know session? Whenever you log in, your session will established. Yes or no? you log into the bank website or any website, Yahoo, Google, whichever website, your session will be there for a few minutes. And all the sessions and cookies are stored in browser itself. Developers, yes or no? Those who are developers, they know this. All your sessions are stored in the browser or you use the cookies concept. But here, as we have Elastic Cache, do you need to use browser sessions and all? Not required. You can store your sessions in Elastic Cache because it's a cache only. Because it is a cache. And you can store that session data in your Elastic Cache and use the session data for very long time for your client. Right? So here, Elastic Cache is used to store the session data. No, this is a certification question. I told you, you will get 1 or 2 questions out of this. This is one of the question where Elastic Cache is used to store the session data. And of course, Elastic Cache support encryption also, no? Elastic Cache support encryption. Encryption are of how many types? Generally, encryption are on how many types? 2 types. What are those? In-transit and data at rest. It is our Elastic Cache support both. Our Elastic Cache support both. Now, is this clear till here, everyone? So, which one would you suggest, Redis or Memcached? So people say Redis, but there is no harm to go with the Memcached because I told you the difference. But as most of the people will go for the Redis, I'll talk little bit more on Redis now. Okay, so let's talk little bit more on the Redis. Let's see how is the architecture of Redis. So Redis. Now in Redis, we have something called cluster mode enabled, cluster mode disabled. What is that? Cluster mode enabled and cluster mode disable concept. You know very well what is the meaning of cluster mode enabled. Cluster is enabled. Other one is cluster is not enabled. So here we have a concept of cluster mode enable, cluster mode disable. Before I go to this, okay. What is a cluster generally? Group of or collection of servers. Group of servers or collection of servers, group of servers, or can call it as group of what? Can we call it as nodes also? Servers also we can call, or nodes also we can. Okay, but here cluster is a collection of shards. What is that? Say that again. Habituate with that word. Collection of shards. Now the next question for you is, sir, what is shard? Correct? Obviously. So shard is a collection of nodes. Shard is a collection of nodes. Nodes are nothing but servers. Instead of calling servers, I call it as nodes. Okay. What is a cluster? Collection of shard. What is a shard? You understand? Okay. I'll make you understand. So this is cluster and this is a shard. This is a shard. What does the shard contains? Nodes. Shard contains, right? Each shard contains 6 nodes. How many nodes? 1 primary and 5 read replicas or 5 replicas. And now what does the shard contains? How many nodes? 6 nodes. How many replicas? How many primary? 1 primary. You understand? Just a small one step like this. So what is a cluster? Collection of shards. What is a shard? Collection of nodes. How many nodes? 6 nodes. How many primary? 1 primary. How many replicas? 5. It give maximum 5. Can you have one replica also? 2 also, 3 also, 4 also, 5 also. So here, this is a shard. What does the shard contain? Nodes. How many nodes? 2, 3. In 6 nodes, one is primary, correct? This is primary. And these are all what, Nana? Replicas. Super drawing, huh? So this is called one shard, correct? This is a shard. Agree? What is a cluster? So can I have one more shard here? Like this, we can have 500 shards in one cluster. How many approximately? So because Redis has a high availability concept, no? That's why you have primary, secondary, primary replicas concept. Okay. So you can connect to the primary and all the data will get replicated automatically to replicas. So there are few applications you can connect to primary where you can read and write. But whereas in replicas, can you write it? No, you can only read. So these read replicas you can connect to the applications, and applications that they want to just only read, no write, then go with the replicas. You getting it? So this is called cluster mode enabled. What is that? Cluster mode enabled. If the cluster mode is enabled, then you have this shard concept. So now, if the cluster mode is disabled, assume this cluster mode is disabled. How many shards will be there? Only one shard. Only one shard. So in EC2 instance, we have rack here. We have shared. Oh, shared in there. I didn't. In EC2, we have a rack. Here we have a shard. In EC2, we have rack. How come rack? What is rack? Did we discuss about same? Oh, you are talking. Oh, okay. Placement groups she's talking about, right? Cluster group. Uh, no, not like that. Shard is just a collection of, you can think, you can say that, no issues. Yeah. Yeah. So, Nana, in cluster mode disable concept, how many replicas will be there? One primary, and how many replicas will be there? 5 replicas. Is it clear, everyone? Hmm? This is all elastic caches. So you understood mainly what is this elastic cache used for, and what is the strategies that they follow, and what is the architecture of the elastic cache, and what is the architecture of Redis. Memcached is very straightforward. Go and create nodes directly. How many nodes that you want? Maybe 60, 100, 200, how many nodes? Okay. So actually we no need to do the practicals on it, but should I go and show you how does it look like in the console, elastic cache? Let's see. Okay. See here. So this Redis, not Redis, this elastic cache is global or regional? Regional only, no other. So let's go to elastic cache. Okay. So this is regional, okay, on the elastic cache. No, in Redis we have learned, right? Subnet group, parameter groups and all. It is the same concepts here also. So there is something new they came up with. What is this? New. No, in a previous batch I teach, and next batch something new. Okay, let's talk about first memcached, then I'll come to the Redis. Okay, let's click on memcached cache. So create memcached cache. Oh, this is a serverless new design your own cache. I see. Hmm. So now we have our memcached is serverless also. What is the meaning of, you know the concept of serverless? Server based, serverless. If you have server based, that means you need to give the instance type. How much how much memory, how much. Serverless meaning based on your load, automatically it increase the performance, automatically decrease the performance. That's the only difference. Okay, so let's say for example here memcached, this is a new one. So see, used to quickly create a cache that automatically scales to meet application traffic demands with no servers to manage. That's what I said. Correct. So, but if you go for design your own cache, would you go to easy kit or standard create? Let's go to standard create. So location, where you want to have this memcached in AWS cloud or in on-premises? In AWS cloud. If it is on-premises, I told you, what is the service in on-premises act as a private cloud? I asked you a couple of days back. Which one? Outpost. Very good. So if you want to use it in on-premises, then you need to have your outpost here created, right? But let's not go to on-premises. Let's go to AWS cloud and call it as memcached server, something. Description is fine. Engine is fine. What is the port number it is using? 11211. So whenever you see the port number, the first thing that you should get in your mind is what? In security group, we need to do the inbound rule. Okay. Parameter groups, which are default. And then node type. Do you see this here? This is server based, no? So we need to give the node type. How much 13 GB memory based on the requirement, you need to select it. Same like our instance. But here at the moment, which one is a favorite one? T2 micro. Let's go for T2 micro. And here, number of nodes. What is it, Nana? Number of nodes. So how many number of nodes? I told you in memcached, you can have maybe more than 60, 100 nodes you can create. So you can have how many numbers that you want. And there is a service called quotas. Did I told you about quotas? Hmm? This guy. Then you said from here to here, you nodded your head. Did I talk about service quotas? Yes or no? Huh? So service quotas meaning it's a service where you can see the quotas for all your services. How many VPCs you can create maximum in region? In one region, how many VPCs you can create? 5. So why 5 is a quota? So if you want to increase it, you go to service quotas and then increase it to 5 if it is allowed, right? And how many EC2 instances you can create by default? 20. How many? 20. That is it. How many in S3? How many buckets you can create? In S3, how many buckets you can create? 100. So that is a quota. So if you want to increase the limit, go there and then increase it. So here, I already told you, but I'm just going again here. Go to service quotas and select which service that you want. Let's say, for example, should I go with Elastic Cache now? Elastic Cache, view quotas. Do you see? These are the quotas. Nodes per memcached. How many? I told you. How many you can create? 60. So here you have adjustability, no? Adjustability meaning whenever you say you see account level, that meaning you can increase from 60 to how much ever you want. Whenever you say not adjustable, that meaning you cannot. How many nodes you can in one start? How many nodes we have? 6. That's a maximum. Do you see? 6. That's a maximum. Not adjustable, but meaning you cannot, it's grayed out, you cannot hit. But if you want to select it, do you see? Request increase at account level. If you click on it, you need to create a ticket with AWS saying that Babu increase from 60 to how much ever you want. So not only Elastic Cache, every service you have a limit. Let's say here, select S3, for example. So here What is the maximum object size? That's volume. Maximum object size, 5 terabyte, no? So you see, object size, how much is a 5 terabyte? Is it adjustable? That is the maximum, right? And then how many replications rules you can create? 1,000. So these are all the quotas. So you can go with the EC2 also if required. EC2. So come back here and search for EC2. Elastic Compute Cloud. And let's say, for example, AMIs. How many AMIs you can create? 50,000 AMIs you can create. But can you increase it? Yes. Account. How many VPCs you can create? Can you adjustable? How many Elastic IPs you can have? Hey, Elastic, how many Elastic IPs are free? 5, no. Adjustable? Yes, you can increase from 5 to how much ever you want. So like this is the service quotas where you can get this limits. And if you want to increase it. Next time, don't tell me that, sir, you haven't told service quotas. Okay, nice. Okay, come back. So here, number of nodes, 60, we can have it. But at the moment, let's go with only 1. And choose the existing subnet group. So let's select the default one. So we have the associates 1A, 1B is fine. And in which availability zone that you want to keep this node that you have creating, it's up to you. You can specify, because how many nodes are there? Only 1 node. So you want to keep it in 1A, 1B, select it. It's up to you. You understand? And click on next. So I told you encryption in transit is there. Security group. Which security group we need to select? Our default security group is there. If any maintenance that you want to do, click on next. That's it. Click on create cluster. You know how to create a cluster? Easy, no? Similarly, we go and create Redis one. You tell me, Nana. Create Redis cache. This also. So maybe we can put it here. Elastic. So here I call it as it supports serverless. And this guy also supports serverless. Please mark it. This is new. They don't ask it, but it's better. Okay. Fine. So let's move on. So no need to go to serverless. So let's go to design your own cache. So which one here? Easy create cluster cache, restore backup, or else create cache and new cache. Should we go with the new cache? Deployment option. Design. Easy creates, we don't go. Are you restoring from backup? Which one is that? Cluster cache. See, so initially it was like this. So you don't need to get confused which one you need to select here. Think, put the logic. Are we going for serverless? No. So let's select the second one. If you select, you got these 3 options. Will you go for easy creator, cluster cache, or restore backup? Easy create, we don't go for. We are not restoring it. So rest is, this is how you need to select. So here, I told you, cluster for Redis cluster mode enabled, disabled. If you click on enable, what will happen? Starts will come into picture. If you disable, no starts. Okay. So here, if I click on enable, what will happen? See. So I call it as Redis server, AWS. Multi-AZ, enable or disable? Amma, disable it. Engine version, port number 6379, parameter groups, node type, which one? T2 micro. Here do you see, as I have selected cluster mode enabled, I have selected cluster mode enabled. So I have got option of number of shards. How many number of shards you can have? 500. So let's say, for example, I'm going for 3 shards. And in each shard, how many replicas you can create maximum? 5. So can we go with the 2 also? 1 also? 3 also? Yeah, I put 3. Let's say, for example. Do you see this here? How many shards we are creating? 3 shards. And primary. And if you want specify availability zones, you can specify primary should be in which availability zone. And how many replicas we have given? 3 replicas. If you put 6 here, I mean, 6 is possible? No, 5 is maximum. So 5 replicas you will add. So if you remove, I don't want these many replicas, just only 1. So you can have only 1 replica. And if you say shards, I don't want these many shards, I want only 1 shard. So just go with, you have 1 shard, only primary and 1 replica. You understand? This is cluster mode enable. If your cluster mode is disabled, no shard concept, come down here, down, T2 micro, and it just directly says number of replicas. How many number of replicas you can have? 5. So you can go with 1 or 2, it's up to you, you can select it. Primary is this, and you say no preference, it will handle it. Click on next. I told you this supports encryption at rest and encryption in transit, which if you want, select it. Click on manage. Does it support backups also, Redis? Redis will support. So you see, it's there. But if you don't want, check it. If you want notifications, select it. If you want logs, select it. Okay. Click on next and then just click on create. Easy, right? So that is how you create Redis clusters and then Mimikatz cluster. And then here you have global data source. What is that? Global meaning if you want to create in another secondary region. Our primary region is Mumbai. And if you want to have, so data will be written in Mumbai. And if you want to have replica in another region also, you can create this global data source concept. Don't create it, but it's very easy to create. Click on create data source, cluster mode enable or disable or check it, and in which region that you want, select it. That's it. And same details, next and finish it. So that is global stores. Can you reserve the elastic cache also for 1 or 3 years? You can read. Backups, you can take it. These are all, and you can create the users here, and you can create the groups, and you can give the permissions to Redis clusters. Which cost? Can you please explain about the cost? Which cost? Elastic cache cost, huh? Okay, put that clearly. Okay. Yes, that Rupali, that is also cache only. So this will take a lot of time to get created. Ravi Kumar is asking, sir, please explain the cost. So which is this cost here depend upon what, Nana, here? Node type, no? What is the node type that we have used? You know how to see the price of T2 micro, no? Yes or no? Similarly, here, whichever the node type you have selected, that much you need to pay for it. Simple as. And there is a cost. There is another service, Nana, where you can estimate the cost basically. Not S3 calculator. S3 calculator is also there. That was the old one which I used to do. S3 cost calculator. Create estimate. This one only. Do you see this here? Calculator.aws. This is related to if you want to, let's say, I'm giving you a real-time example. Uh, In real time, customers will come to you and ask, hey, set it up this. And also they'll ask one important thing, how much it will cost. Very common thing, right? You go to any restaurant or you go to anywhere, the first thing that you ask is, Anna, yanta? How much? If you go to Charminar, huh? That bangles, this bangles. And what the first thing you'll ask? Cost. How much? And he'll say, these bangles is 500 rupees. And how much you'll ask? 50 rupees. Huh? So the Agibatti Macha will come. Hey, Egistan. So, when I used to go with Charner it's anyone can go. We cannot stay next to our ladies. Yes or no? We'll get BPs because the way they ask, the way the bargain is too much, man. Too much. How come 500 rupees? Some people ask for 20 rupees also. Okay. Anyways, so cost is very important thing. So in AWS also, if you want to estimate, if you want to set up any infrastructure, if you want to set up any architecture, the first thing that you need to get in your mind is cost. Customers also will ask for, Babu, this is my requirement. Tell me how much cost, how much money I need to keep it ready to pay to the AWS. So what you need to do is you need to come to this URL. I'm giving this URL to everyone. You can create estimate. What is that? Estimate. Click on create estimate and add service. Which service that you're planning to use? It can be EC2, it can be S3, it can be RDS, whichever the services for your entire infrastructure it supports, select all those services. Automatically, you will get the cost. Let me give one example. Let's say search by location, search by all services. Which service? Let's say I go with EC2. Do you see this here? EC2 is there, no? Configure. Enter a description of it. My new customer. Give some name. Huh? Which region, Nana? Okay, you need to select a region where you are setting up the infrastructure, which is accessed by your customer. Okay, let's take Mumbai only. Mumbai. You got very habituated with me, Mumbai, huh? But make sure that in real time, according to requirement, you need to select. Huh? If your customer is in US, don't say I'll select only Mumbai. Huh? So tenancy shared or dedicated, dedicated host. Huh? Tenancy we use shared only, no? So we use shared. Which type of operating system that you're planning to use? Let's say Linux only. Huh? And then constants usage, number of instances, only one. Which instance type that you're planning to use for your requirement? Give me something, no? Instance type. T2, huh? What? X large, huh? Why it is not coming up? Uh-huh. It's already took. T2, X large, instance family, which family, T2, I2, T, these many families are there, huh? Any CPU, how much memory? 4 GB, yeah. Performance up to 5 GB, for example. T2X large you have selected here. Okay. Pricing, someone called me? No. So pricing, you want to go with the savings planner or on-demand spotter. Let's say you're going with the on-demand. So did we learn all these things or not? So you are an architect now. So we are only how many days left? Few days left only, right? So by this now you should be able to get everything, right? So, and do you see this here? EBS volumes. How much EBS volume you are planning to add? Which one? You want to go with GP2 and how much, let's say 100 GB I need. So snapshots, I'm taking it daily, for example, or you don't want snapshot, no snapshot. Okay. Next, monitoring data, elastic IPs. You want to elastic IPs? 5 are free, that's fine. Additional cost, blah, blah. So based on the selections, you select all these things. How much is the monthly cost here? 156 USD dollars. So you click on save and add service. So this is only EC2. This is only EC2. Similarly, only EC2 people will use a customer. No, right? Let's say RDS also, for example, is using. So select RDS. Which one? RDS for Postgres. I'm just giving an example. So select it and then select based on a requirement and you will get the okay. So it says yeah, M for X large. Oh, that's a big one. So let's say I'll go with this. Okay, one node I'm going. Select all the multi-hazy. See? Now you are very careful, no? Selecting multi-hazy, not multi. So that's a power of architecture. Multi-hazy. You're going for which one? On demand. Remember, RDS proxy is billable or not? Yes. If you want, select yes. Otherwise, no. Storage, how much? Let's say I want 400 GB. And then performance insights, remember? What is performance insight? Monitoring. If you want, select the monitoring. Backup storage, exporting to snapshot to S3 snapshot. So, but it shows now how much here? 1,550. Save and view summary. If you say this, your estimation cost for 1 year, 12 months is this month. And monthly cost is 1,712. So because if you click on like this, you can export this Excel sheet into PDF format and share it to the customer saying that, Babu, based on your suggestions, based on requirement, this is the cost estimation. Very beautiful and important service. I don't think so. No one will tell all these things. So please keep this in mind. This is how you estimate the cost. And while selecting this, you need to be very careful. And if you know technically, then only you can select yes or no. Can anyone randomly select all these things? Huh? No, you have to be very careful because let's say you went to Charmer and he said that how much is dress? 1,000 rupees. Will he flukily say 10,000 rupees? No. Right here also, if customer says that I need based on this requirement, please tell me the cost. And if you say, okay, the $1,500 per month, he will expect, okay, 1,500 maybe. And all of a sudden you got 3,000 per month. You are a bad engineer. You are a bad architect. So please select carefully and what is based on requirement and select and estimate the cost. Okay, Nana? Clear? So nice. And do you see this here? Our Redis cluster is ready. So go inside it and also you have the endpoint. Remember, you have the endpoint, you have the reader endpoint. How many replicas we have created? Only one. So one is primary. This is replica. And whichever the servers that you want to connect to the primary for writing purpose, connect to it. And for reading purpose, go with this. So I will not be showing how to connect this because it is developers from application, they will be connecting it. But what I will be doing, what the task that I'll be giving for you is little bit different, but easy. Huh? You know how to set up Redis cluster now? Don't go with cluster mode enabled, go with cluster mode disabled only. Or go with only one replica. And what you want to do is launch one Linux EC2 instance. Which one? From that Linux EC2 instance, I want to connect to the Redis cluster. Very easy. From the Linux EC2 instance, you need to connect to the Redis cluster. In this process, you need to install something called Redis CLI you need to install. So in this process, you'll be learning little bit nicely. But should I show you? No. Will you do it? Easy, but I'll give you a hint. Yes, correct, Priyanka. Connect AWS Redis cluster from Linux. Okay, let's say for example, something is there. Go for it. With the screenshot they have given. Do you see? This is our primary endpoint. Secondary endpoint is there. Come. Enable, disable, blah, blah. Connect to Redis cluster or replacement with Linux. This one. Connecting to the cluster mode disable. And exactly this is one. This is our one only or not? Are we encrypt? Did we encrypt it? No. Did we enable the clustering? No. Cluster mode enable. Unencrypted. Only 3 lines are there. Can't you do this? Come on. So do this here, right? And then set it. Read it, okay? And replace this primary endpoint, port number and all. And then run the Redis commands. Set x is equal to hello. And what is the value of x now? Hello only, right? Get x, if you say hello, you will get these sample commands. This is cluster mode enable. You can connect it. And then this is a few sample Redis commands that you get it. Yeah. So go to this URL and read it. And then it's very easy. You need to use 2-3 commands to connect it. And quickly, I'll show you how the developers will be connecting how the developers will be connecting from the application point of view. So that for developers, it will be helpful. See. So, okay. We'll take this. And I'm taking a sample Python script. This is Python. Okay. See here. So this is the app code. App code meaning application code. There are 2 types of strategies we have learned. What are those? Lazy loading and write through. So lazy loading and write through. What is lazy loading? Load whenever necessary. First, it will check with elastic cache. If not, then it will go to RDS. Get it from RDS and then again write to the elastic cache. This is lazy loading. Let's see what he's doing. So lazy, he's getting user, get user. What is the user ID he's getting? 17. Okay, this is the definition here, get user. He want to get the user details. First, he will check with whom? Elastic cache. Do you see record is equal to cache.get user ID. First, he is checking where, Nana? In cache. Record is a variable here. So now, if this user ID, if he got the user ID as 17 from the cache, the record value would be what? How much? Record value will be how much? Record value will be how much? I'm saying again. What is the user ID here? How much is the user ID? 17. Record is equal to cache.get user ID. What is the user ID here? 17. If the cache has user ID 17, then the record value will be 17. I'm slowly teaching Python also. Huh? So what is the record value here? 17. If there is no record, record value is 0, none. So if record is none, that meaning if the cache didn't find the data, then it will go and talk to whom? Database, no? So it will go and you see is writing the database query. Once it is written the data in the record, and this record will again return to the cache. So this is the one small Python script how the developers will write. You're getting it? That is called lazy loading. And write through meaning what? When you're saving the user, it is saving both on the cache, both on the RDS, and then both on the cache at the same time. So this is how the developers will be writing the code to connect to the cache. So for us, it is not at all required to go very deep inside this, because I just wanted to show you how this will work from the application point of view. Clear, Nana? Will able to do this practical? Any questions online? If not, take the screenshot. And by the way, tomorrow, Friday, it's not yet decided. I might travel, but it's not confirmed yet. Okay, because I have an urgent work. I need to travel to the hometown. Not for the vacation. It's another emergency work I have. So I'll be updating you in the Google Classroom for tomorrow's class. Okay, Nana? Just in case. I'm not declaring as holiday. Just in case I'm saying, because if I, it's not yet decided for me. Just in case I'm saying, please watch Google Classroom before coming to the class. Okay, Nana? If I travel Friday, how come I'll come back on Saturday? I need one day to travel back, right? So Saturday also will not be there. And Monday is Christmas. Obviously, I think it will be holiday. I'm not sure. Naresh Shetty has to declare, but I'll be back on Sunday itself, right? I'll back on Sunday itself, but it's not decided. Yeah. Where is your hometown, sir? You don't know my hometown? Nellore, right? Nellore. What is that famous for? Chapel Pulse. Okay, please take the screenshot. I clearly said it is not declared. Okay. Don't put the messages to admins and in messages. Tomorrow we have class. It's look like holiday. Riyaz sir told. And some people will say that, Arey, no, bro. Riyaz sir didn't told. Huh? So I'm clearly saying not yet decided. Okay. Just in case. Because I would like to inform you first and then go, right? So it should not be like all of a sudden. Your Bharat Deva has not heard anything. How did you hear the class? Huh? Pity. Take the screenshot. You understood today's task, Nana? What's your today's task? Connect into the Redis cluster from the Linux machine. Nice. Okay. Nice, Nana. So can you give me the final CC for today, please? CC with smile, please. So great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you. I don't know. So if I'm leave, so Monday is also leave. I think I don't know if Naresh IT has declared the holidays, then it will be on Tuesday. Otherwise, I'll come normally as tomorrow if required, right? If my plan is cancelled. Okay, now. So that is all. Let's connect next time. Until then, take care, bye bye, and have a nice day and be careful. Again, I'm warning you that in the COVID cases are increasing. So please be very careful, take precautions, don't travel unnecessarily. First, you don't travel, sir. So I'll be traveling by my own car, okay? So ముందు మీరు చూసుకోండి సార్ ఓ ఏంది అంత మాట సార్ చూసుకోబడలే okay so please be careful because in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka also the cases are rising. So please wear the mask and please again follow the same hygiene that you were following couple of years back. Okay, please be careful because if one person will affect it, the entire things will go bad. So let's not hope for that. So take care, Anna. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.